From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, May the 29th, 2020. A Palestinian driver attempted to run over Israeli troops in the West Bank this afternoon. The IDF tweeted that the suspect tried to ram his car into a group of soldiers near the Israeli community of Halamish. In response, the IDF wrote, the troops fired and neutralized the assailant. Jordan made its opposition to possible West Bank annexation by Israel strongly known to U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi reportedly told Pompeo that such a move would endanger prospects of peace. Last week, Prime Minister Omar al-Razaz told the official Petra news agency that if Israel were to go ahead with annexation, he said Jordan would be forced to review all aspects of our relations with Israel. U.S. President Donald Trump signed the Never Again Education Act into law yesterday. The legislation provides $10 million in federal funding over the next 5 years to expand Holocaust education. The bipartisan bill was spearheaded by New York Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney. It adds to the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum's existing education program for teachers across the country. Jewish groups welcomed the signing into law of the bill, including Hadassah, the Women's Zionist Organization of America, whose national president, Rhoda Smolo, and CEO Executive Director Janice Weinman wrote, studying how the Holocaust happened, to whom and why, is not just simply history. It's a lesson for today and for the future. You cannot stand up against hatred if you can't identify it. They said the Never Again Education Act will help educate millions of Americans to be prepared to act. Variety reports that HBO is working on a new series about Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Bibi will be written by Kirk Ellis, who is best known for adapting David McCullough's John Adams for HBO. The series, which will cover the Prime Minister's personal and political life, is being produced by Tel Aviv-based Abot HaMeiri and is based on Israeli journalist Ben Caspit's biography, The Netanyahu Years. And beloved Jewish musical Fiddler on the Roof is getting a reboot. Deadline reports that the classic is being adapted into a new feature film by MGM, directed by Hamilton's director Thomas Kail, who will also produce with Dan Jinks and Aaron Harnick. Harnick is the nephew of the renowned lyricist of Fiddler on the Roof, Sheldon Harnick. The musical, which opened on Broadway in 1964 and most recently had a very successful revival in Yiddish, was of course already turned into a movie back in 1971. MGM Film Group President Pam Abdi said, all of us at MGM look forward to sharing this timeless cultural milestone with movie-going audiences of every generation. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight, for Friday, May the 29th at 6 o'clock, live Shabbat services are coming up from New York City's Central Synagogue. Then at 7:30, a Shavuot service from the Hampton Synagogue. At 8:30, we hear from noted philosopher Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz at the 92nd Street Y. At 9:20, the film Faith and Fate. And then at 10:20, a repeat of the Shavuot service. And coming up right after this newscast, a look at this week's Torah portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, May the 29th, 2020. I'm Teisha Bader. Chag Sameach, Shabbat Shalom. Stay healthy, stay well.